Every time we push a machine to its limits, whether that's a high-revving engine or a massive data center, we generate an immense, unavoidable byproduct: heat. Physics demands that heat moves from hot to cold. If that energy is trapped, the rising temperature will quickly exceed the failure points of the components themselves. To survive, machines like the internal combustion engine have to flawlessly execute a delicate balancing act. They rely on exactly 3 physical mechanisms to move that energy away from critical components: conduction, convection, and radiation. By precisely controlling these 3 pathways, engineers prevent our machines from destroying themselves, keeping the modern world powered and running. The first line of defense is the solid metal of the engine block itself, which pulls heat directly away from the combustion chamber. This is conduction, the transfer of heat strictly through direct physical contact within a solid material or between touching objects. This split-screen diagram visualizes Fourier's law. Heat flow is proportional to the temperature difference and the material's thermal conductivity. Applying this, engineers build engine blocks from highly conductive metals like aluminum to pull thermal energy out instantly. Conversely, when the goal is to trap heat in a specific place, we rely on materials with very low thermal conductivity, like foam. You see this application inside the walls of nearly every building, where loose-fill insulation completely blocks conduction to keep the interior warm during winter. Conduction is the foundational step for moving heat out of solids, but a solid block alone will eventually saturate and overheat. It needs a flowing fluid to carry that energy away. This is where liquid coolant flowing through the engine comes in. Fluids physically transport the accumulated heat away from the saturated metal block. This transfer of heat through the physical movement of a liquid or gas is called convection. This compares natural convection on the left, where warm fluid slowly rises and cool fluid sinks, with forced convection on the right. By using fans and pumps, forced convection drastically speeds up heat transfer, far beyond its natural limits. A car's radiator is a perfect example, actively forcing cool air across hot internal fins to dump the engine's heat out into the atmosphere. Heavy-duty radiators pack dozens of these densely layered metal cooling fins together to maximize the surface area interacting with the forced air. Convection gives engineers active control, turning static fluids into dynamic thermal highways that pump heat exactly where it needs to go. But if you look at the glowing red-hot exhaust components of an engine, you'll see a third mechanism at work, one that operates without any solid contact or flowing fluid. This is radiation, the transfer of heat purely through electromagnetic waves. Radiation relies on waves, requiring no physical medium at all. This is how thermal energy travels across the absolute vacuum of space to reach Earth. Every object above absolute zero emits thermal radiation, but hotter objects emit significantly more of it. This graph plotting absolute temperature on the x-axis against radiated energy on the y-axis visualizes the Stefan-Boltzmann Law. The curve spikes violently upward because radiated energy increases to the 4th power of an object's temperature. Because of this extreme mathematical relationship, the absolute hottest components in a machine will ruthlessly purge energy into their surroundings as pure waves. When we pull back and look at a running system, we see all 3 mechanisms happening simultaneously: conduction through the solid block, convection in the circulating fluid, and radiation bleeding out of the hot exhaust. Engineering is the practice of balancing these 3 distinct pathways against one another to maintain thermal stability. On a massive scale, industrial heat exchangers manage these pathways to transfer energy through power plants without letting volatile fluids physically mix. And in microscopic, highly dense spaces, modern data centers depend entirely on forced liquid cooling systems to stop millions of processors from failing under their own computational load. Now that we have safely managed the intense thermal loads generated by our machines, the next step is actually putting that trapped power to work. In our next episode, we'll turn to gear trains and kinematics to convert this energy into mechanical motion. Mapping heat's mandatory journey from hot to cold is how we ensure our most complex machines remain cold enough to function.